Jimmie The G-Him back with you once again, continue with this NBA look at the 2018 offseason ahead. And up next we have the Milwaukee Bucks, pick number 17 in the NBA draft. Another team who is looking to name a head coach. What would I, Jimmie The G-Him, do as the Milwaukee Bucks decision maker? Well, first thing I would do will be hire that head coach. And the coach I'm considering or looking at to hire is not one of the ones been talked about on the Bucks list. The coach I'm targeting is Texas Legends NBA G League coach Bob McKinnon Jr. Now that name may be off the radar. McKinnon has had extensive experience in the G League, as it's known now, formerly the D League. But I just like his approach offensively, how he can mix and match talent. He's always had a lot of players called up from the D or G League. He always has to make adjustments with his lineup. Being an affiliate of the Dallas Mavericks the last couple of seasons, he's run Rick Carlisle's offensive system. But he's just a very versatile coach who can play at a fast pace and mix and match talent. I really like that his offenses in the past have included playmakers from the front court and also that attack guard role. And that's what you have in the two foremost playmakers for Milwaukee, and Giannis Antetokounmpo and Eric Bledsoe. So I think he's a perfect fit for the Milwaukee Bucks coaching job. All the candidates I scoured, and that would be my choice as head coach. I think he can develop Antetokounmpo as well as develop the other talent on the team that's up and coming and also can have it fit. I'm thinking of a guy like DJ Wilson. Alright, now that's out of the way. We can look as far as, do we want to make any trades, or are we targeting any player to trade? The only player I would think about trading probably would be Thon Maker, unless someone knocked me out of my shoes or knocked my socks off me with a deal I couldn't refuse. But Maker, I'm not really big on his upside. I'm more big on a DJ Wilson. I think Maker can turn into a very solid defensive player, but his offensive game, I think it may not, or maybe close to peaking. He's a player that was controversial when he was coming out of the amateur ranks, that because it was reported that he was older than his age was thought to be, and that may be a reason why I don't see a high ceiling in him. So if I'm trading anybody, it would probably be Thon Maker. Now, picking number 17 in the draft, the player I have targeted, well, on my wish list, the dream scenario for the Milwaukee Bucks would be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out of Kentucky. But I don't think he'll be around at number 17. But since we were talking about trades, maybe a team in that late lottery would want to swap draft picks if we throw in the Thon Maker so we can move up and draft Gilgeous-Alexander. But assuming that's not the case, the two players I will look at will be Landry Shamet, point guard out of Wichita State, and also Shake Milton, point guard out of SMU. Both of these players are sort of tall. Shamet is 6'4". He's more of a natural distributor. Take a higher percentage of his shots from three-point range. I think you can pair him with a Bledsoe, and that'll work well. I'm not as sure as the combination of him and Malcolm Brogdon, how well will that work? But I think Brogdon can attack a little, so I think they can play as well together. Matthew Dellavedova is still under contract. I would not like that pairing too much. I think both of those players, the three-point percentage, or the percentage of the shots for three-pointers is sort of high, but if you put them around Antetokounmpo and he's the main ball handler, maybe setting those players up for threes or different ways you can work it. I think the flexibility right there with the lineup and the different players you have, that can come into play. So Shamet and Dellavedova could possibly form an effective backcourt. As we move along to Shake Milton, he's similar to Shamet, a little bigger, not quite the distributor, so if he's running the team, it's more of a attack guard mode. Maybe Bledsoe, Antetokounmpo are the ones the action are going through. But as far as Shamet, I think he can control and get you in and out of sets better. But that being said, Milton is an effective passer. He has a good eye. And like Shamet, he's very good from the three-point line. 40% from three-point line in each of his college season. So very good shooter. 84% from the free throw line is Milton. I don't think you can go wrong with either of these guys, and they both should be there at number 17, I would assume. But I would have my pick. I would have Shamet. He would be the choice right there. So that would conclude our draft, being our only draft pick in this 2018 NBA draft. So I look at my free agents, and basically I'm not re-signing Jabari Parker, Jason Terry, Shabazz Muhammad, Brandon Jennings, and I'm not picking up Tyler Zeller's contract. So basically that's 5 players right there. We already drafted one in Shamet, so I'll go out to look to add 3 to 4 more players. First, I'm going to decide between 2 former Milwaukee Bucks, Luke Baamute and Ersan Ilyasova. Whichever the two will comes the cheapest. Baamute this season for the Houston Rockets is making $2 million, while Ilyasova is making just over $500,000. He ended the season with the 76ers after being traded from Atlanta. Both of these players are similar as far as being that stretch 4 type of guy that can step out and hit the 3. They're versatile. Baamute is a better and more versatile defender, but Ilyasova takes a higher percentage of his shots from the 3-point line. I think either of these guys you can pair with Antetokounmpo in the front court, being Antetokounmpo's ability to play multiple positions and defend multiple positions. So I think it basically just comes down who's the cheapest between these two. So that would be one of my signings, and I would next try to sign a big man to replace Zeller's spot on the roster. And I mentioned JaVale McGee in the last video for the Washington Wizards. He will also be a target right here for the Milwaukee Bucks, probably a more realistic target since he doesn't have a history in Milwaukee. Just been really efficient the last 2 seasons at Golden State, only playing 9 minutes per game. But even if he just played a little more here in Milwaukee, with the depth that we have, I think it can be effective. He had a career high this year, 73% from the free throw line. And for a guy that was get as easy chances as he'll get, evident by his 60% field goal shooting, I think it's good for him to be able to catch in at the free throw line. Also, a couple of other guys I will look at if for some reason McGee doesn't sign or I can't get McGee. Also look at Alex Len, who just finished his 5th season. He was the 5th pick of the 2013 NBA draft by the Phoenix Suns. Just a player that's basically just growing. He's still pretty young, in his early 20s. Had a career high in field goal percentage this year for 56%. So I'll just take a flyer on him, betting on the future that he can improve. He's athletic and he can serve as a rim protector. The other guy is Nerlens Noel. Now this is really a mystery. Noel, just after his first couple seasons of actual play in the league, his career hasn't taken off like some might assume. We're talking about another lottery pick, another top 5 pick here. Very athletic. He has the tools to be a great defender, but he's had trouble fitting in into defensive systems. Only played 30 games this season, as injuries also has defined his career to some extent. He's a guy, if he end up being a signing, you just would hope that Bob McKinnon can just get something out of him, just get him to buy into the team concept. He played at Dallas last year, so he would in some ways be familiar with McKinnon if McKinnon chooses to use some of the Dallas system here in Milwaukee. or McKinnon might be at least familiar with the word on Noel. All right, and for my Nets signing, I go to the backcourt. A player I would target would be Joe Harris of the Brooklyn Nets. Now, Harris really came into his own this past season, playing 25 minutes a game for Brooklyn, averaging over 10 points. He was one of the most effective shooters in the league, 49% from the field. That was 58% from the two area inside the three-point line, and also 41% from three-point territory, 82% from the free throw line. I think he's an underrated driver to the basketball, and his main role here would be, especially when Bledsoe's not in the game, I think he's a guard that can get to the rim, that can also shoot it from the outside. So he have the versatility playing next to Shamet or Dellavedova or Brogdon. I think he's very versatile in that aspect. Familiar with Brogdon, as both of them hail from the University of Virginia. So those would be my main signings. I would also maybe take a flyer on a player like George Niang, who had extensive time in the G League the last couple of seasons. He's signed a two-way contract last season with Utah, a one-year deal. So maybe I kick the tires on someone like that and bring him to Milwaukee, where our versatility may be better hide his defensive inefficiencies. So that's my look for the Milwaukee Bucks. I think these moves, given the state that the Bucks are in, are the best moves to make to bring the team closer to that ultimate goal of winning a title, or at least winning the Eastern Conference. This is Jimmie The G-Him giving you my thoughts of what I would do as the head decision maker in Milwaukee. As always, if you like the content, please press like and subscribe to the channel so you have first dibs at more team previews and just more talk from the sports world about things I would do if I was the decision maker. Thank you.